Welcome to Thrive Tuesday. Thrive is a charity based in Newtown Community Resource Centre. It's on Durham Road in Stockton, and this regular Tuesday spot with Ignition Radio provides an opportunity to allow the people of Stockton to have their say on a number of topical issues. This week we are gathering people's views on the new appointment of Theresa May as our Prime Minister. Following the EU referendum and the resignation of David Cameron, we now have a new Prime Minister. Still a Conservative Party member who has been quoted in the past as delivering a speech that highlighted the importance of the Conservative Party not being the nasty party in UK politics. She's once been described as a liberal Conservative who has recently talked about now it is important to make Britain a country that not works for a privileged few but for every one of us. Undoubtedly, Theresa May has taken up this position during a time of intense crisis following the EU referendum result and during a period of time whereby there are calls for radical changes, such as reversing austerity and ending inequality. But is she the best person for the job? We've been out into the community to gather people's views.
I'll ask it once and you can all give your answer. What do you think of Theresa May as Prime Minister?
Fantastic. Me personally. Not that I'm a Conservative, but I think that she's fantastic. She'll do good for the country.
Right. What do you think of Theresa May as Prime Minister?
I believe it could be a good opportunity for the country. I think it could be something new for us.
She's got a set of balls.
Yeah.
Who?
Theresa May.
Who? I don't even know. I'm not into politics, so.
What do you think of Theresa May as Prime Minister?
Probably the best of a bad bunch.
Next question.
Okay, sorry.
Who do you think's going to win Labour leader?
I think Jeremy Corbyn will still stay in because of the amount of people that have paid the £25 subs, which is roughly 500,000, just as a number, since he came into power. So those people will back him if they're allowed to vote, and that's why they're trying to say if you came in after January you can't vote, to try to get him out. So there is a conspiracy theory, but hey-ho, there's always a conspiracy theory.
Who do you think will win it?
Anyone but Corbyn.
Thank you, gentlemen. What do you think of Theresa May, the new Prime Minister?
Another Maggie Thatcher.
Good or bad?
Not good.
Not good, thank
No.
you.
I'd rather have Nicola Sturgeon.
Yeah.
Theresa May, she's come in, but no one really knows her background. She's only been there for, what, since 2010? So no one knows her background. And it's like all MPs, what have they got hidden?
Well, look at Cameron and his pig though. That was something.
Well, Cameron, in a way, Cameron was a two-faced man. Now, the other night, redundancy pays off and stuff like that, where they were causing all the cuts. But everyone that swept his sides have all been given big pay redundancies.
So what did you think of Margaret Thatcher?
Maggie Thatcher was just a waste of space. Maggie Thatcher sold us down the river.
Because you once worked in Grayson's, how did you feel when it went?
It was a shock to see it go because, I mean, it's like one of the lads to say now and then, and he says he had good times there, and everyone did have good times. But it's like you say, times change. It's like now, all that's in this country is in foreign investment. Big companies that have sold up. Look at Capri's, America own that now. We've got nothing left. It's like MG. Now that was the British car industry. Now Japan have got it. And it's got on. Made in Britain. It's not made in Britain, it's made in bloody China.
Well, that's just false advertising.
No.
do you think about the current Labour situation at the moment?
Labour have always been a downsized party. See, when you look at it, all MPs are only in for one thing. That's to rip off the taxpayers and have a cushy life. And look at how many holidays they get.
What do you think?
There's people out there working themselves to an early grave, just trying to put food on the table.
Do you think that gives family, like, depression or...
There's a lot of depression because people are struggling like that. And that's what you've got to look at. People are struggling like that.
What do you think about food banks?
Food banks, it's a good thing, but we shouldn't be having them. People should not have to rely on food banks, really.
What do you think about the state doing sanctions?
The sanctions, I would sanction all MPs for not doing the jobs. When you look at half of them MPs there, and then they got up, yeah.
You do see them asleep on the TV, you got to admit that.
It's like to say, anyone who goes out there tries to make a little bit of money, they get done. The class fraud. How many bent MPs have we seen lately? Bent MPs for fraud.
What do you think
but
about...
They only get a certain amount of time. But they get to keep the jobs.
What do you think what's going on with Tony Blair?
Him? Tony Blair? I would get him on a plane and I would parachute him in Afghanistan and let them deal with him.
Right.
Him and all of his family. And all of the ones who voted.
But he can't blame his family.
John Prescott, he should be on there.
What's the man that didn't know the family?
Yeah.
John Prescott, Gordon Brown, I forgot the other idiot's name. But to me, they should be paid heavily. And I don't see why taxpayers have had to fund for his legal fees. When all them poor soldiers' families are suffering and he's walking around with big grins on his face. Where's his money come from? Backhanders from Syria and places like that. Colonel Gaddafi. Oh, I'll get you this, but you'll have to pay me. And that's what all the questions people are asking.
Right, fine.
Thank you for your time. The following interview was conducted by volunteers of Teesside as we tried to find out just what Stockton-On-Tees think of the UK's latest Prime Minister. May I ask your opinion?
I don't really know much about her. She's only been Prime Minister for a week and a half, I'd say now. I've noticed she has seemed to get more women in power than Cameron did. I'd say I think we need to give her a bit more chance. I think if you ask me a question in a few months' time, again, I might have a better opinion on her.
And obviously she's the second woman to ever become Prime Minister, you know. But looking back on the first one, I'm sure you probably were in Teesside at that point. What was it like for?
Well, a lot of places closed down. She closed down her Rysons. She privatised a lot of things like British Gas, the electric. We don't have any of the shops now in Stockton like we used to. Stuff like that. I mean, she has killed the industry. Yeah, she might have been brilliant and all of that, and real singing, but she wasn't that good, to my opinion. But a lot of people have their own opinion on Margaret Thatcher.
I've recently read that Theresa May. I was going to say Maggie May for some reason, but Theresa May is changing some laws, possibly something about benefits. Are you hoping that she does and that it does benefit the people of Stockton?
Yeah, because we need it. a lot of people are struggling from Stockton. You see kids going to school and they haven't had the breakfast, which is totally wrong. You know, because the parents can't afford the breakfast, or they're out of work for some reason, or they get sanctioned, and the children are going to school. That's not right.
Everybody does have a right to eat.
Yeah.
But it's not just school children, like sanctions and...
Sanction is a really big killer for people of nowadays, because you don't just get sanctioned for a week. It could end up in years. I'd love to find out.
Up to 3 years.
Or figured out, oh, we'll call it sanctions.
Well, that is a bit of a tough one to find, isn't it?
Yeah, because it's just killing the art.
And obviously in the news lately that it's not just like the cabinet fighting, you also have other countries. And if it does turn out to lead to a war, whether it's between the UK and Turkey, say, or a full World War III, do you think we have the right Prime Minister in power?
Like I say, I can't answer that, because we haven't really seen what she's all about. Have we really? So I think we would have to, like I say, give her a chance to see what she's going to do with the nation. And I think the best for that is to see what happens to Labour. Will we have a Labour or not?
Thank you for your time.